Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at an unlimited PortalCraft deck. Of course, with Portal losing a lot of cards, unlimited has become the place if you want to play a lot of the classics like Acceleradium, although there is Acceleradium in rotation thanks to a particular card. Either way, Deus Ex Machina unfortunately can only be played in unlimited now, even though it is such a wonderful overall card, and this deck does a pretty good job of taking advantage of the new cards, Mechagon Wielder and Bestowal, which is actually an amazing one. Otherwise, we're actually running mostly older cards as far as that goes in unlimited, although Hero of Purgation is still great even if you're not using it as a finisher. This deck can actually win very easily by just flooding over and over and over again, and does a really nice job of stabilizing. So we're going to get right into this and check it out. So our first match for this video is against a Runecraft deck. No big shock there. We are going second, which it's not the worst case for this deck, to be honest. I've been in worse with it. And this hand is actually okay. The entity is probably the only thing that I don't really want. And Synthetic Being is a really good one. Miriam. Since we are going second, I believe the Resonance will line up with her perfectly. From memory. I've just got to think about it a little bit. Yes, so that's going to work out very nicely. So Miriam on 2. I'm probably actually going to use the draw so I can get the analyzing that we just put in the deck last turn. Biofabbit, multiple duplication. Also, may as well play him out on turn 2. So we've got a good chance of going Excel into Wielder into 1-drop if we want, or we can just kind of play off this with Soldier, which works just as well. And of course, Rush Face. Since I haven't dealt with these, we're in a very good position right now. Very good one. Thinking about that, we're going to pretty easily play these analyzings out. We don't even need the Acceleradium at this point. There's no point really using it until we can kind of need to take stuff out, since it's only really going to give us extra value, which we don't need since we can fill the board. This deck can do quite well at being very aggressive, which is typically how I like to play it. Sometimes that does mean giving up a lot of cards, but since Deus Ex Machina is now down to a 5 cost, since it went into unlimited, it's actually a lot better of a card, since we can now use it dead on 5, which is great. The only thing to keep in mind is making sure to manage your resonance very well, which is typically what I like to try and do with the analyzings. They become very easy to manage the resonance without going over. So even though we could have went for 6, I'd rather keep this hand currently, since we've actually got a pretty decent chance with the Acceleradium and analyzing. So I went for the Snipe and the Fates. No real surprise there. We do have an Evo point though, so unless they can clean out 2 of these, they don't really have a chance. So nope, doesn't look like they had a chance. With the Evo, that's going to be 6 damage for a pretty early lethal. As I mentioned, a very strong early game deck. Even though our opponent didn't really have a lot in the early game, it definitely shows how easy it is to generate artifacts. Next up, Portal versus Sword. Or Shadow, sorry. Shadow and Sword. Both start with S. I mean, sometimes I mess that up when I'm reading. How shocking is that? Either way, Shadow is quite strong in unlimited, so no surprise we see that fairly regularly overall. Fervent Machine Soldier. So Synthetic Being, it's not so good without resonance, but when you're going up against something like Shadow, you really need to try and stick something to the board. And I did decide to go for the artifact line of play and hold on to them, since we do have the Excel and the Augmentation, which is amazing when you have at least 3 things to combine together. So we're looking at an insane next turn. It only needs to go at least reasonably well for this to be absolutely insane. And another Bestowal. Probably don't need 2 of them, to be honest, at this point. So it wasn't too nuts. It would have been nice if we got another artifact, but it worked out. And we've now set up the Excel, which is good, considering our hand. So hero for the extra draw. Plus she's got some good stats that can kill this 1/4 off easily. So as you can see, this deck is very good at keeping up Flood, which is exactly what you want in most cases in Unlimited. Flooding the board with reasonably statted followers, making it very hard to deal with. Which is great when you can force out things like Aisha here, when they're not using them to deal face damage. And we still got 4 left on board. We're going for the DragooseX though. Which, staying out of resonance, is going to work in our favour here, since we get to keep Purgation's Blade. But looking at what they're currently doing, it might not be as good a chance as I was hoping. I think Purgation is just a 4 buff, so it's not quite enough, unfortunately, to go for lethal here. But we are going to get a chance to start at least trying to take care of some of this board. Mechanization, perfect, exactly what we need to do. Going for as much draw as we can get now. And trying just to use these and abuse these as much as we can. Since we can pretty much continually flood them. I did decide to favour this though, which might have been the wrong move, to be honest. Considering we're going to lose both our Purgation Blades thanks to Resonance. Maybe going for Augmentation would have been better for the extra draw power, but considering what we've put in the deck, we're still not in a bad spot with this. While we can't use Maisha to go face, she's going to be great for dealing with board. Even if they trade this 4/4, getting that value is pretty good. So I'll play an Onslaught just to get rid of something. Excels, because we're going to get positive out of this every single time now. So these artifacts are just pure value. And then now just to throw some more into the deck so we actually have some more to work with. So we're probably looking at staying in resonance here. So we really just want to put as much into the deck as we can. And this time I am aiming for some Storm Followers. Very easy to adjust your deck on the fly with this variant, which is great. Zombie Party. Big board again. Skull Beast. Not really going to be enough to do a lot to me. But I do need to deal with these zombies as well as I possibly can. And honestly, I probably should have focused on the Prime Artifact, as that is such an amazing card here. And making sure the Mystic is there is always good as well. So we get to use the Prime. And start going on the more of a defensive resonance setup again. And I'm glad I kept this hand, since we did get the Radiant. No, where's that going? Is it going to hit 2-3? So with Radiant Artifact, I believe that is enough to go for game there anyway. So that would have been, yeah. No, it would have been 12. Maybe it would have been 1 short. Either way, we probably would have made that up somewhere. So this deck is definitely a very capable one for Unlimited. That change to DragooseX has made it a wonderful card and does a really, really good job overall. Hopefully you guys can enjoy this deck, as it is a lot of fun. Do be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. You will find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, see ya.